Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof. Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof. Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof.
How's everybody doing tonight? Is the Proof in the Pudding podcast show, and I go by the name of Sion 919. I'm really excited about today's show. I had the pleasure of meeting this young woman on a video set for Team Collective's Vibe Out Remix, and we've been connected ever since. She's definitely inspiring. She's definitely doing her thing in the game right now. She's a model, an actress, a licensed substance abuse counselor, and more. So, I'm excited about her show. Without any further ado, let's welcome her to the stage. She goes by the name of Trimika McGee. How you feeling today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited about you being here. You're definitely doing big things, definitely with your modeling and stuff like that. So I'm excited to have you. But for the people that may be watching, that may not be familiar, let's let them know a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Okay. I'm from Dunn, North Carolina. I was reared in Dunn. I went to Triton High School. I graduated from Triton High School in 1988. And I moved to Georgia. From Georgia, I moved to Charlotte to here. So, yeah.
So you've been around some places, you've done some things, but you're definitely doing it well. Definitely a lot of accomplishments, a lot of skills and stuff like that. So let's take it back to the early days. Like back then, what was your passion at the time, growing up?
Well, when I was growing up, my passion was I used to write. Okay. I always wanted to be a singer too when I was younger, but that didn't pan out too well. But anyway, I used to write. And then, when you're young, you really don't know what you want to do or what you're going to do. Right. So I ended up being a police officer. I was a police officer. I ended up going into law enforcement. I actually made history in my hometown. I was the first Black female police officer there. Wow. Yeah. So I did that. And then, I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. So I ended up moving to Georgia. When I moved to Georgia, I was actually working for FedEx. I worked for FedEx for 4 years. Okay. And while I was in Georgia, I said I used to write and things like that. So I ended up being in a band. I was in a band. I was a backup singer for this guy in a band, but the group dismantled, so that fell apart. And I was in Georgia for 2 years, and then I moved to Charlotte. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about writing, right? You said that was your first love in the singing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So did you start writing poems, or were you writing songs, stories? What were you writing in the beginning?
Well, in grade school, I used to write a lot of stories, short stories. Then I got into poetry and music, and now I still write. I still write poetry, and I write songs and stuff like that now too.
Okay. So
yeah. So
where do you draw your inspiration when you're being creative in your writing? What inspires you, and how do you get in your mood to write?
Experiences, things that I'm going through, things that I've been through, things that I want, things like that. Just life in general. Everything I write about is about me or something that I've been through that I could put it into words. And I'm sure people can relate because all of us somehow go through the same things, just differently, but the same things.
That's very true,
Yeah.
right there. So you say you
Yeah.
grew up in Dunn, North Carolina. What was
Yeah.
that like back then? Like what was that like for the people that may not be familiar with Dunn? Let's let them know.
Back in the day, it's totally different than it is now. Back in the day, it was great. I mean, I had, it was my mom, my dad, and I had two brothers in the house. I'm the oldest. Very family oriented. Country. This is a small country town. I had a lot of cousins and family. I had my grandmother lived in Clinton, North Carolina. I would always go there and be with her and my aunts and stuff like that. I had a very good childhood. We didn't have much, but we had love. You know what I mean? So my childhood was great. I can't complain about it, other than the fact, we didn't have a lot of money, but it was just different than it is now. We could go out without worrying about getting shot or, just do a lot of different things that you can't do anymore growing up as a child. I was a child.
Right.
I was allowed to be a child, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without having to worry about anything. So it was good.
That's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing right there. So through high school, were you popular in school?
No.
Really?
No. Because when I was growing up, I was chubby.
Right.
I had acne and buck teeth and all that stuff, Right. I had to wear braces, no.
Wow.
I mean, when I got to high school, I transformed.
Right.
Then, I became kind of popular with the boys or whatever, but no, I was chubby.
Wow. Okay. So I know at the reunion now, they're like, wow, like, yo, because it's like, yo, you totally confidence, everything you modeling, you doing all this stuff. So it's like, I know a lot of people now is kicking themselves in the butt, like, yo, wow, if I would have knew then, but I knew now. But that's like,
yeah, that's how it is anyway. We all go through that.
Right.
So, but I wasn't beautiful.
Wow. Nah, you always was beautiful. You just came into yourself. You just started expressing yourself more. Right. Okay. All right. So you made history, right? You said you made history and done right there.
Yes.
So what was that experience like? Being a Black female police officer in Dunn, North Carolina.
Yeah. I mean, looking on it now was amazing. I was like, wow, because I just pulled out that article this year for Black History and I posted it and I got so much feedback. I never really looked at it like, wow, I actually made really history. I'm a part of history. So back then it was great because, I was in the paper and everything and I was young, still trying to find my way. I mean, it was a great opportunity, but it definitely wasn't for me. I mean, I did, I was a police officer and I also worked at a prison before. Right. That type of, it's not for me because I treat people the way I want to be treated.
Right.
And sometimes in that field, people don't allow you to do that. I mean, like for example, when I worked in the prison system, the inmates responded to officers that were mean and negative versus how I was. So, stuff like that, it doesn't work for me because I like treating people like people. You know what I mean?
No, I definitely understand that. Definitely those type of situations is like, they don't always treat you like a human being. It's like sometimes they even violate you. And it's kind of hard to watch. It's like definitely like when you empathize with the person, or that could be my brother, that could be my family member. You definitely wouldn't want to see that. So I can definitely understand that. So let me ask you, because we hear a lot of stories, right? What's some of the conditions, like what's some of the worst conditions you've seen without, exposing anybody or whatever? You don't have to say where. What's some of the worst conditions you've seen as far as like inmates and stuff like that? As far as things.
I mean, what do you mean? Like, I mean, because I've seen a lot of stuff. I mean, I saw fights. I mean, I saw gay activity. I mean, you just see different stuff. Right. I mean, it just depends. Because I worked in a male pod. I work with all men. So you could see anything on any given day. It just, it is what it is. I never was assaulted or anything like that, but it was kind of hard working with them because they're inmates. You have to watch them. Me being a woman. Yeah, that just wasn't for me. Yeah.
I definitely understand that. So for the young people that may be watching it, right? They see it on TV, never been, you know what I mean? And it's like trouble is easy to get into, hard to get out. What advice would you give them?
stay the course, do things that's going to help you. Listen to your parents, because I didn't listen to mine, and I had to learn a lot of things the hard way.
Right.
But please listen to your parents, or if you feel like that, sometimes your parents could give you advice that it's like, nah, go to someone you can trust and see if they can, guide you in the right direction. But just listen.
Just listen.
Listen to authority.
Right.
Listen.
Nah, that's real right there. So what was the transition like? Because you left Dunn.
Yeah.
You went to Atlanta.
Yes.
All right. So what was that like? What year was this in Atlanta? Like, what Atlanta was this? Was it already turned up Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, it was doing Freaknik and all that.
Oh wow. Okay. So that was the height of it, right? Well, that's when it was first getting started. So what was that experience like? Coming from Dunn, right? Because Dunn is a small town.
Mm-hmm.
To Atlanta, right? So you're done with law enforcement, coming out there, starting over.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What was that experience like? Can you walk me through that real quick?
Well, I went there. I liked Georgia, but I didn't like it because it was too fast. I was from Dunn. That's why I didn't stay there.
Right.
It was too fast. I had my spell with going out and all that. I wasn't into that anymore. It was just, I didn't like Georgia. I didn't know what the hype was. I just didn't like it. I lived there for 2 years, and then I moved to Charlotte. I did not like Georgia at all. I mean, it was good when I got into that band. That was a great experience.
Right.
It allowed me to see some things, but I didn't really like Georgia. It was too fast for me. Mm-mm.
I feel that. So New York City, LA, Miami, all that stuff is out for you.
Right. I've been to New York. I can't stand New York.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I'm very friendly.
Right.
They're not, I speak to everybody and smile. I'm like, yeah, it wouldn't work for me.
Right. All right. So you leave Atlanta and you go to Charlotte. Yeah. Was Charlotte in the middle? Charlotte's kind of fast.
But Charlotte was somewhat leveled out though. I like Charlotte. It was just like, and then I live right next to my cousins and everything, so it was kind of it was like mellowed out, and then it wasn't too far from Dunn, Right. And at the time, me and my mom was real close, so it was easy to come home and things like that. It was just, it worked out better for me, Charlotte. Yeah, I like Charlotte a lot. Yeah.
All right. So, okay.
Yeah.
How did you get in the band? Let's talk about that before we get to Charlotte, right? I want to talk about the singing experience, right?
Yeah.
How did you get in the band? Like, how did that come about?
Well, it was actually through they posted it in the paper. They posted it, this particular guy that I sung backup for. Actually, I pulled out this tape. It was a cassette tape. I pulled it out today. I was like, let me pull this out. Really, a cassette tape. So this is a cassette tape.
Wow.
So they had posted it in the paper, and I went and auditioned for it.
Hey.
Yeah, that's how it happened. I mean, we was doing good.
Right.
And then he wanted to do something on his own, and we just like dismantled. And then I tried to do things by myself, but it was kind of hard because I didn't have any leadership or anything like that. So it just kind of like faded. Yeah. But yeah. Wow. Through a newspaper article, I just went, that's it.
And the rest was history. So were you trained or it was like you self-taught? Like, what was your experience in singing? Like, how did you get your voice?
Well, I did singing lessons a little while when I was in Dunn, but not a lot. Just self-taught. I always liked music and stuff like that. Just loving music. Me and my cousins and stuff, we used to sing and all that stuff all the time. So just something that I always wanted to do. And my aunt always reminded me that when I was a little girl, she used to ask me what I wanted to do or what I was going to be when I grow up. And I used to always tell her a star.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're doing it.
I'm not there yet.
It's coming. It's there. You're close. You're close. You're close from Durham to be from Dunn, North Carolina. To be from Dunn, North Carolina, you done made history already.
Yeah.
You're doing your thing right now. You done went a long way. I'm pretty sure you're inspiring a lot of people from Dunn right now to let them know you can do it. Like it's
absolutely.
It could definitely be done. So okay, so you said self-taught with the singing. What type of music back then? You and your cousins. What was some of your favorite songs to sing?
R&B. I used to love Prince. My mom actually bought me a Prince. She had bought me a jukebox when I was little.
Right.
And the first the record she bought me was Prince. I want to be your lover and all that.
Oh wow, that was my jump right there. And that
Yeah,
has a little groove on it.
right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
you and your family, y'all was performing that. So you running around dancing and getting your prints on singing.
Well, I couldn't dance. I wish my cousin was on here. We used to. Yeah, they used to pick at me, like they used to try to show me how to dance, and I couldn't get it.
Wow.
I couldn't get it at all, but we had fun though. We had fun.
And you said, but you could definitely hit the notes though. You said I could sing though. I might not be able to dance, but that singing is my thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what were some of the girl groups that y'all may have back then impersonated?
Oh, I didn't like girl groups like that. My group was New Edition. I love New Edition. Oh my God.
You love New Edition.
Ronnie, I was in love with Ronnie.
Ronnie DeVoe.
Yes.
Wow. So okay.
I had a scrapbook. I had a scrapbook of New Edition. When I tell you I was in love with New Edition, I was in love with New Edition. I wanted to marry Ronnie.
You wanted to marry Ronnie DeVoe. You was that serious.
Yeah.
It was different back then. That's the thing, because we didn't have the internet. We didn't have none of that.
I know.
So you had to be dedicated, sign up for the fan club, you read the magazines,
exactly,
and stuff like that. So okay, Ronnie DeVoe. What did you think about the movie?
Oh, I watch it. I watched it several times when it's reruns. I like it.
Yeah,
I really like it. I like the Bobby Brown show. I like all that.
Right.
Very inspiring. Yeah, you never know what people go through. That's the thing. You never know.
Right.
You never know what people go through.
Right. And that's the thing. I loved it the same way because I was a New Edition fan, but it's like not a diehard fan, but I love New Edition. Growing up in that era, they was the ones. They was like the Jackson 5, then New Edition came back. So it's like a transition from going into Michael Jackson, New Edition when it came to groups. So before them, I would say Jackson 5 was my group before New Edition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So so they transition, they do the movie come out. I learned a lot because it's like again back then it was no internet, so you didn't know people's story. You didn't know like that happened and that really happened, or you may remember certain situations where it's like, oh, I read that in the magazine, or that was on Right On, or at the Source magazines or whatever the case may be. So I learned a lot from that. Okay, so now you're growing up. What happened with that? Like, how long did y'all pursue the singing? You and your family? Was it like up until you?
Oh, me and my family didn't pursue singing. We just used to sing and stuff. Like my cousins and stuff used to sing. But when I went to Georgia, I got in the band. I was there for 2 years, so maybe a year lasted, maybe a year. And that's when I left. When I left from Georgia and I moved to Charlotte. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then what happened next? You're in Charlotte now.
Yeah.
Like starting over.
When I moved, when I moved to Charlotte, I was working for FedEx, and actually that's how I got into the field that I'm in. That's when I went back to school. Okay. Because I have a bachelor's in psychology, then I have a master's in human services, specializing in marriage and family therapy. And I just graduated the 28th of last month. I got another master's in addiction. So all that started, that started when I moved to Charlotte. I just went back to school and pursued my career and stuff like that. And then I ended up getting married. I got married in 2005. Okay. So, no, 2006. Sorry, I'll be divorced this year, 6 years. Okay. But yeah, I got married, and I got married in 2006. Yeah, and I was married for 10 years. Yeah. Wow.
Okay. So this is in Charlotte.
Yes.
Okay. So out there, were you modeling still? Were you just focused on the family? What was that married life transitioning from traveling around? Now you married, so.
No, when I was married, I got into the field that I'm in now, which is addiction, substance abuse. Right. I just enjoyed doing that. I don't know why I got into that field. Well, yes, I do. It had to be God, actually, because I love helping people. I mean, I treat people the way they want to be treated. And I always treat people, that's on the other side of the table like it could be me. I could be in that chair, so I always treat people like I want to be treated. But yeah, I wasn't even thinking about modeling, singing, or anything when I got married. I mean, was just focused on, going back to school, getting my degrees and things like that, trying to be a good wife and things of that nature. But yeah, I wasn't thinking about any of that. I was just thinking about being a good wife and stuff like that. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You say you have 2 majors.
3.
3 majors. Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
yeah, it could be done. It could be done.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely can be done. I mean, there's no limit to what you can do. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. It doesn't matter. I'll be 52 in October.
52 hours.
So,
yeah,
so
yeah, definitely.
it can be done. Well, thank you. It can be done, but just make it happen. That's it. Just make it happen.
Wow. So let me ask you, how do you keep your youthfulness? Is it healthy living? Is it eating right? Because you don't look nowhere near that.
Yeah, I changed my diet. I was trying to transition over into vegan.
Right.
But I can't stop eating seafood. That's my favorite food. So I don't eat any meat except for that. You know. Yeah. So, incorporating exercise. I try to drink a lot of water. Because I lost 30 pounds, but just by changing my diet.
Just changing the diet.
Wow. Yep. So that's how I try to stay young, because I don't want to age. I want to age gracefully. Put it that way.
Wow. You're already doing it. Yeah, you're already doing it. I think when we was at the video shoot, right? I looked over. You had the blonde hair. It was all white, right? And I looked and I had a double take because it was like you had a look like, yo, that's unique. And I remember, I think I said something to you. I don't know what I might have said at the time, but we had a conversation before we started shooting.
Yeah.
Right. And it was like something about you. I'm thinking like, yo, you about probably 30-something years old. It's people that's my age or younger than me. I'm not that far behind you, but it's people that's younger than me, you know what I mean, that looks 50, 60 years old.
Right. Oh, I know. I see it every day.
Right. So it's like, yo, that's definitely a blessing right there, because like I would have never in a million years guessed that you were 52 years old.
Yeah, I'll be 52, October the 25th.
25th. Yeah, so that's a blessing right there. So let's talk about your profession, because you're in substance abuse. Real popular topic, mental health, substance abuse, and stuff like that. A lot, especially in the urban communities. What's some things you've learned over the years that's like a misconception that people on the outside looking in, they may not understand, that you've seen on both sides because you're in there? What's a misconception that people may have about mental health and substance abuse?
Well, for substance abuse, back in the day, it used to be crack,
right,
cocaine, and now it's heroin and the opioids and things like that. People that look like, let me say, how can I say, people with a lot of money, or people that just got that look. Just example, i.e., let's see, like Tom Cruise. Right. The majority of the individuals that I work with are Caucasian. People just don't know. Like I said, people just don't know what people go through. Right. The misconception is you can't look at a person and tell absolutely nothing about them. Wow. People expect people that's addicted to look like you and I, and that's not true. You know what I'm saying? Right. I work with some of the richest people. I mean, nice, they got money. Life just happened. The misconception is nobody woke up and said, I want to be an addict. Nobody said that. It just happened, with the pain pills and, peer pressure. Working in this field has taught me a lot. I mean, you just never know what a person is going through. You just never know. So just be mindful of how you treat people. Just treat people nice, kind, loving. You don't know what they're going through on a daily basis just to make it. Right. You don't.
And that's real right there. My mom has a saying that she always says, if it wasn't for the grace of God, there go I. Exactly. It took me a while to understand what she meant, but it's like the older I get, the wiser I get now. It's like I learned to be quiet when people are going through, or they may be in a bad situation. I pray for them. Like, I don't celebrate. I don't, they deserve it, because like it could easily turn around and it could be me, my loved one, my child. So it's like,
and that's another thing too. A lot of people don't empathize and know how to empathize because it's not them. It's not me. Right. It's horrible the way the stigma is horrible, how they're treated. That's why they don't want to tell nobody. Even with mental health, they don't want to talk to nobody or tell them what they're going through because of the judgment.
Right.
People forget that they're human. That's what just like, it upsets me because I used to go into the jails and all that kind of stuff. And I look at how some of the inmates are treated by staff, like I said.
Right.
And then like, if you have someone that needs to be transported to the hospital from a facility, even the individuals that are medics and things like that, they don't understand addiction and they automatically judge in the person.
Wow.
I mean, you don't know how a person got to where they are. I mean, like you said, it could be you and I. I mean, treat people nice. You don't know what they're going through. You just don't know.
And that's definitely real right there. So over the years, you say you've been in that for like 10 years?
Yeah, I've been doing substance abuse since 2013.
Since 2013.
2013. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you've seen the shifts and the changes. So it's like,
Oh,
are the people getting younger, or is it like just everybody can get it?
No, younger. You have younger addicts because now, well, with the crackdown on the pain pills, it's kind of hard to get them. But you know, a lot of kids start using pain pills at home. I mean,
wow,
they get it out of the medicine cabinet.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I know when I was growing up, which we didn't have that issue. But you know, parents didn't lock up their medication and stuff. They didn't have to back then, but now you do, because you have these kids. They do. It's called Skittles parties. It's like where they get pain medication from home. Everybody gets some and pour it in a bowl or something, and that you just go for what you know. I mean, yeah, it's younger. And then with the fentanyl, fentanyl is in everything. Fentanyl, they're lacing marijuana with fentanyl, pressing pills with fentanyl. So many people are overdosing cocaine because they think they're getting one thing and they're getting something else. And they dying. It's bad. It's really bad.
Wow.
It's bad.
I want to touch on that real quick because you just said a real thing with the Skittle parties and stuff like that. So it's like with each pill, it's different side effects. Certain pills you can't take with each other and different things like that. So they just dumping any kind of pills.
And just seeing how they're gonna feel. Yeah. Wow. That's why you should keep your medication locked up. Talk to your kids about drugs. I mean, some people don't want to talk to them about drugs, don't want to talk to them about alcohol or anything, but you need to, or they're gonna learn, you know. The hard way. They're gonna learn. Yeah.
Wow. So that's definitely real right there. Then even like the older people, so in certain situations where they may be living with grandma, maybe living with grandpa and stuff like that, is like the same thing. So it's like, okay, grandpa might have had back surgery. He got strong medication. Sometimes people hit you in the head for this stuff.
Oh, you can make some money. Wow. Yeah, it's money to be made. Right. Yeah, I don't want to say that, but yeah, it's money to be made off that. Yeah, it's money.
That's what I mean. So like if an elderly person, right? So let's say, you know, we're just giving a scenario. An older person, they may be on medication. They really need the medication. They may have a, you know, nephew, grandson, or whoever the case may be, right? Whether he's using or he looks at it like, yo, I'm gonna make money off of this. So now he takes grandmother, grandpa's pills. They're without, right? But if they're there to like look after grandma and grandpa like that, do they have a voice? Is that like a thing where it's like a lot of the elderly people, like they're just taking it? Or would the elderly people be able to shut it down? Like, yo, no, because if they're doing parties, where they getting these drugs, these pills from?
They're getting it from the medicine cabinet, like you said, or they stealing it from their parents. I mean, nothing's gonna be done unless they, you know, get law enforcement involved. And usually they don't, because it's their loved one. Right. You know, a lot of stuff is overlooked. You have a lot of enablers too. Right. True. With substance abuse. Yeah. So no, unless they go to law enforcement, there's nothing that can be done.
Okay. So let me ask you, you know, a professional question. Just because it's a popular thing out now, a lot of people, they experiment with drugs. You brought up a word, fentanyl. Let's talk about the dangers of that real quick, because a lot of people, they thinking they can look at it and tell, and they, you know, oh, it ain't, this is good, and they taking a chance. But like I heard, fentanyl, certain ways used wrong, instantly could, you know, overdose you or kill you. It's like, it's because it's so strong. So
true. I mean, it comes in a pill format. You know, they even have the patches. I mean, some people, they cut the patches and eat the gel out of the patch.
Wow.
I mean, they snort it, they shoot it. It just depends on however they want to use it.
Right. Wow. So, and then,
Yeah.
so if you don't know and you're thinking, okay, boom, you're just going to get one thing and it's laced with this. Let's talk about the dangers of that real quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you don't know what you're taking, you can overdose. That's like, if you can just Google overdoses with cocaine. Now, a lot of people are thinking they buying cocaine,
Right.
and it's fentanyl. I mean, they don't know. That's why I tell all my clients, you don't know what you're buying out here on these streets.
Right.
You buying anything, and because you know, I have to go over the drug streets with them, and they be like, "What? I didn't use that." I said, "Well, obviously it's in the heroin that you're buying. They're putting everything in it. They don't know, but you know, that's just addiction. You know."
Right. No, definitely.
It is, but they, you know, it's better for them to, like, I do have some clients too that they know where they're getting their drugs from. I mean, I don't recommend that, but getting it off the street, you don't know what you're getting. You just don't know.
No,
You don't know.
I definitely agree right there.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's like you said, it's like you don't know. It's taking a chance. Mm-hmm. It's like nobody, even the ones that wind up getting it and overdose and stuff like that, nobody ever knows. They didn't go out and say, I want the one that's gonna kill me.
Right.
We're taking a chance. And like you said, it's like once that addiction takes over, they're not thinking. Mm-hmm. And it can happen to the best of us. Maybe somebody over there that's saying, you know, I don't do drugs. I just smoke my weed. You just said they lacing fentanyl and weed.
Yes, and that's what the drug dealers are doing. I mean, they're using fentanyl because they want you to keep coming back. Right. They want you to get addicted to fentanyl. Fentanyl is potent. It's very potent. So they want you to come back. Right. So just be mindful. That's why, you know, even if you know somebody that get some Narcan. You know, Narcan is what reverses overdose. Go to the health department, see if you can get some Narcan. Google, see where you can get it. I know we have it where I work at, you know, for our clients. Right. Just have some on hand because you just never know. You just never know.
Wow. Yeah, that's real.
You never know.
That's definitely right there. Wow. Okay. And then I hear the young people nowadays, they're talking Percocets and stuff like that. Like,
pain pills, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's pain pills.
Yes.
Okay. So
yeah, but you know, the doctors are making it hard to get pain pills though, unless you know somebody that's in a pain management, you know, clinic. You know, they really cut back on that. So that's another reason why a lot of people start using heroin. They can't get pain pills anymore. It gets too expensive on the street. That's when they start using heroin. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And the thing is, even with that, like, you know, in my day and age, it was like, you know, a lot of people, like you said, they was getting caught up in the crack and the woos and stuff like that, cocaine. Mm-hmm. But it was like back then, it was kind of like people were scared of heroin. You know what I mean? It was like certain areas where it was around. Don't get me wrong; it's been around since forever.
Right.
It was a time when people was afraid to, you know, poke themselves with a needle and stuff like that. But the thing is, it's like nowadays, it's like 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 18-year-olds, and like you said, it's like they're shooting up and stuff like that. So it's like, let's talk about for the parents that may be, you know, slow on the ball, they're not getting it. These are hard drugs. That's in the high school kids and stuff like that. They have it. So it's like they friend could easily influence. Oh, come over here. You sending them to their house. You don't know what's going on over there. As a professional expert, what would you say to the people watching that may have young or teenage children?
Well, like I tell my nieces and nephews, don't take anything you don't know what you're taking. I mean, your parents can't watch you all the time. I mean, you know, you have to be trusted. If someone offers you something, say no. I mean, Google some information on overdoses. I mean, there's a lot of young people that has overdosed because of that fact that you just said. I mean, you just got to try to talk to them. Hey, do not do it. No. Pick up a phone, call me to come and get you. Do not do it. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it because your first time could be your last time.
First time could be your last time.
So you can tell them that. I mean, I try to tell my nieces and nephews, please don't do no drugs. Don't do it.
Right.
Do not do it.
And that's definitely real right there. I'm pretty sure, you know, you get synthetic. I mean, what is the word? Sympathetic empathy. Empathize for the okay, yeah, okay. Empathize. You empathize. But I'm pretty sure some of it becomes like hard, right? Because like you watching people going through certain situations, and it's like it's a process. It don't happen overnight. So it's like I'm pretty sure you done seen some hard things that was hard to watch. Is what I'm trying to get.
Yes.
How do you not let it overtake you? Because some people can fall into a depression, and some people they take on the person. It's like they going through something. Now they become burdened with it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. In this profession, you can't take anything personal. I had to learn that because you do become attached, so to speak. All you can do, because I pray for my patients too, all you can do is pray for them and try to guide them in the right direction and tell them, or suggest, not tell, suggest to them what they should do or not do. But that's all you can do. I mean, you have to utilize positive coping skills, because I do, you know, in dealing with mental health or addiction, because it is sad when you have a client that, come on now, you know this is not good for you. You know what the end is going to be. But they not, it's the addict in them. You cannot take it personal. If they don't do anything you say, you just continue to, you know, be positive towards them and do what you need to do in your profession, because they're, at the end of the day, they're grown. But one, you got to realize that it's a disease, and you have to have empathy. You got to listen. Like I said, you don't know how they got to where they are. I mean, there's trauma. They've been raped, molested, they've had, you know, abused. It just a lot of things, even things that maybe you and I have gone through, but we had positive coping skills and we didn't turn to drugs. We didn't turn to alcohol, things of that nature. But life, there's not a book to life. You learn as you go. I mean, things happen. You know, it's sad, but things happen. You just got to continue to love on them, pray for them, and just be there for them, and guide them, try to guide them in the right direction. That's all you can do, because at the end of the day, they're going to do what they want to do. And you just pray that I said something that made a difference. That's my biggest thing. I said something that made a difference.
Yeah, and that's real right there. So let me ask you, being a Black woman, right? 3 degrees, 3 master degrees. How did you?
Well, no, I have one. I have 2 masters and one BS, bachelor of science.
Okay.
Bachelors.
All right. 2 masters, 1 bachelor. How did you stay focused, right? And not get caught up, you know, because like at the same time, everything is there. Everybody is, you know, around a certain same. It may not be the same situation, but trouble is always around. Trouble is always a phone call away. You know, this one bad choice, one bad decision is always a way. So it's like to go from that, you know, to graduate 2 times masters. It's hard for most people to get 1 master's. Get that, you know, make history. First female and done. From the law enforcement side of things. Yo, so you're excelling. How did you stay focused and weave the pitfalls of life? And how did you not lose your mind?
Well, for one, I've never been a follower. You know, I grew up around my cousins and smoking weed. They laced joints and all that, but I always said no. It's something God put in me. You know, I used to go to church and things like that. I just never had a desire to do that. Now, I used to drink, you know, but I didn't get drunk and stuff like that, but I used to drink. I mean, it's hard. It's just your decisions. Like, for example, like in 2008, I had a stillbirth. You know, that was traumatic.
Right.
Thank God that didn't push me over there because that was hard as well. Right. You know, and then to go through a divorce that I didn't want. That was the worst thing I ever went through. And when my mom died and stuff, it's just God. And then at the time I had a strong church family. I had a foundation. I was in church. I was busy. You got to keep yourself busy. You got to keep yourself occupied with something positive. You got to be around positive people. You know, I had girlfriends that helped me through when I was going through my divorce. Right. You know, it's just by the grace of God that I didn't, you know, I didn't even think about using anything like that, but it's by the grace of God. But everybody does not have those coping skills. You know, everybody's different, you know. Wow. But it's by the grace of God that I didn't, you know, lose my mind or start using drugs or something like that. Right. That's it. I can only say it was God. Yes.
And that foundation right there, that foundation of God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so after that, right? After the divorce, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're still working, you're still doing the counseling,
Mm-hmm.
going through a hard time. Those
Yeah.
is one of the toughest times of your life, right? How did
Mm-hmm.
you get through that, and what happened next from there?
Well, when I was going through my divorce, like I said, I had a strong church family.
Right.
I was under the leadership of Pastor Sheila and Anthony Calvert, and they helped me a lot. I mean, you know, of course they prayed for me, because at the time when I went through my divorce, my mom had already passed away.
Oh,
But I had some good girlfriends too.
right.
Yeah, I had some girlfriends that helped me, you know, that would keep me occupied, that I could call and things of that nature. But it's just the company that you keep, you know, that's big, that's important. Because when you have positive company and, so to speak, positive role models in your life,
Right.
you can do a lot. You know, you might think one thing, but when you like, dang, I need to talk to somebody, you got somebody you can call or whatever that can talk you off that ledge or edge, so to speak, that makes a difference. So once again, God, I had a circle around me that was there for me when I needed them. So it's about the company that you keep as well when you're going through something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Having the right people, because some people can make a bad situation worse. It's going bad.
Exactly.
Right. So definitely,
Exactly.
you had the right people around you. How important has your faith been in your life? Like, you know, how important for the people that may be struggling? How important is that faith when not just the good times, the bad times?
Oh, yeah.
How important is that faith?
Oh, it's very important. I mean, you gotta, you know, I believe in God, you know, I believe in Jesus. You gotta have something, a higher power that you pray to, that you believe in.
Right.
I mean, in my opinion, I wouldn't have made it without that. You know, I don't know how someone, which is to each their own, but I don't understand how someone said they don't believe in God. I mean, like, I grew up poor, we didn't have a lot, but we had love. You know what I mean? I was involved in church, I was in the choir, things of that nature. Just God has always been present. He's always been in my life. No one has ever had to force God on me. You know, I just know that he's relevant and he has always been there.
Right.
Faith is very important. You can't do anything without God, in my opinion.
Right.
You know,
I agree.
that's just me personally. You know what I mean?
No,
that's just me. But
I definitely agree with that. So you get through that, right? So let's talk about what happened next, because I'm under the understanding that a patient helped you take it to another level.
Yes. Okay. So I moved here in 2018. I was working at another MAT in Salisbury. So I moved here because at the time I moved here because I was dating this guy, and he lived in Raleigh, and I moved here, but it didn't work out. So I was going to move here anyway because I wanted to be closer to my dad. I didn't want to be 3 hours away. Now I'm only an hour away. But anyway, a patient at my clinic during COVID, you know, she used to always it's just amazing. I'm gonna say this. It's amazing how God would send you somebody you never expect. God will use anybody. You know what I mean? I mean, because, you know, going through my divorce and everything, you know, I had low self-esteem. You know, like I told you,
right.
I ended up losing 30 pounds, you know. But we go through things, we internalize things. But God sent a patient. This lady would come out of my office every day and tell me, you know, how nice I look. I dress nice. You should be a model. You should do this. You should do that. Just basically pouring into me because of what I had been through and the way I was thinking. So during COVID, you know, like I said, for like a year, she would come out of my office. When I tell you every day, I'm going to say God sent her to put a seed in my heart or a seed in my mind every day. So during COVID, I just started taking a lot of different pictures and things like that. And I just started sending them off to different magazines and stuff like that. So that's really how I got started, because I've been in not any major magazines yet, but that's my goal, is to be in a major magazine. But I've been in several magazines and things of that nature. So that's how all that got started, because of a patient. Someone that I'm sitting there to help her, but she didn't know that she was helping me.
She helping
you know?
And that's how you gotta do it. And you're getting paid at the same time.
Exactly.
That's how I gotta do it, right? You know, it's like, and we laugh and saying that, but it's like, yo, because, you know, you think about it, you going to work, You there to be a blessing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You there to be a blessing, but at the same time, this helps pay your bills and survive and things like that. Plus, you're doing what you love.
Right.
Never thinking, yo, I'm gonna get anything out of it. Never going in looking for anything out of it. You living your best life. You at work, encouraging.
Right.
Going through what you're going through.
That's
still.
it.
And you're going through it still. But you're encouraging others. It ain't all good for me, but I'm still encouraging others.
Mm-hmm.
And God said, I'm about to bless
you. Exactly. He's something else. Like you said, we just don't know. Right. We don't know, you know? And like I had entered that contest. I know you saw me posting stuff every day, Fabulous Over 40 or whatever.
Right.
And I got to second. And that was a blessing to me. Because when I wrote it down this morning, when I found out I was just second, you know, it would have been a blessing to get that $40,000. You know what I mean? But I looked at it, I said, I don't look at anything as a loss. It just means God has better. God always has better. You can't look at when you lose or you feel like you lost, God has something better. Wow. So that's how I look at it. It was an experience, and I don't know who has been seeing my work, but God has better. Yeah, God has better. So I just, you know, decided I'm just going to stay diligent, just continue to do what I do, and just let God do what he's going to do. You know, wow. You can't take anything personal.
And that's the thing right there. So it's like you win second. That's still a big accomplishment. Fabulous and 40. People looking now, they wouldn't even think you're 40. And you said you
right. Well, I'm 51.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. But they wouldn't even think you're 40. So really, come on now. You know you're blessed. You know you're blessed and you win it. I see your photos and I see the shoots you taking. It's like, yo, you definitely classy. It's like, you do good work. What inspires some of your shoots? Like, where do you get your inspiration for your fashion? And then and it's like the thing with you don't play around. You don't have to do it. You go all the way out. It's like even right now, you know this is like what you're wearing when you go on the red carpet or something. You look did up. You didn't just come up here with rollers in your hair. This is who you are. This is what you do.
Right. My thing is you never know who you're gonna meet. I'm not I went and got my makeup done and all that because I don't know who's looking. Right. You never know who's looking at you. You never. Don't go out the house with no rollers in your hair and that bonnet. That's just my personal thing. Mine. I don't want to offend nobody. This is my personal thing. Yeah.
Okay. So what inspires your shoots? Like when you coming up with a concept for the shoot, is it the photographer or do you come up with the themes on your own?
I come up with them on my own. Well, with God's help, because I'd be like, dang, I want to do something different. Right. You know, I just be brainstorming. What can I do this time? You know what I mean? I just think of something and just go with it. You know, I talk to the photographer about it and I just go with it. I'll order something and just go with it and see how it goes. Yeah.
All right. And you said a thing. You said when you was going through the divorce, you had low esteem. Your confidence is on 1,000 now. Let's talk about that transformation, like, yo, because when I look at you every time, every post, everything, even on the set, it's like, yo, your confidence is on 1,000. You have a peace about you. And it's like you're seeing it. Like, this ain't my first time. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, you get older. It's like, yo, I done been here before now. It's like you're enjoying it now. Where sometimes it's like when you're new to something, you're rushing out there. You're rushing, you bump your head, you fall, making mistakes because you're new.
Right.
You have this aura about you. Where it's like, almost like, you know how they said, and I don't want to put the pressure on you, but you know how they said, like Michelle Obama. When she stepped, she stepped. When you step, you step.
I appreciate that.
You step. I'm gonna tell you that for real. You step. When you step, you step.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So that's dope.
I try.
You're doing it. So how did you make that transformation though, from going from low esteem to confident and expressing yourself? Because even fashion and confidence is just expression of how you feel. How did you turn that around to God's glory?
Well, you can't stay stuck, you know. I started looking at myself in the mirror and of course praying like, I don't like who I am, or, I would say I don't like the way I look. I'm not happy. Put it that way. I just wasn't happy. I had a weight on my shoulders. It was just like basically depression.
Right.
And I just didn't like it. So I just allowed God to work in me. To change my mindset. That's why He sent that patient to pour into me. Then I was like, man, I need to lose some weight. If you don't like the way you look, do something about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've never liked weight. Even like I said, when I was growing up, I was chubby. And I lost all that weight when I went to move with my grandmother, and I just started eating vegetables and no meat. So, but this time, I was trying to change my diet and everything. I just didn't like me. So I had to change who I was.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to change who I was.
And then you definitely did that. You definitely did that. And it's like you could see it. It's like you're happy. It's a genuine happiness. It's a peace about you. And it's a confidence like, yo, I know it's going to be all right. So it's like you're doing your thing. It's like, yo, I see you doing the shoots. You doing different types from the different colors and the different locations. And it's like you said, your outfits are always put together. So who are some of the photographers that you work with?
I work with Tracy Lucas. He's out in Raleigh. I work I work with him a lot. I work with this guy that lives out in Greenville. I work with this guy out that lives out in Greensboro. But for the most part, I work with Tracy. I work with Tracy a lot. Okay. Yeah, I work with Tracy a lot.
Okay. So what themes or what shoots stand out the most in your mind?
When I did that bikini shoot.
Right.
Right. That stood out. I was like, oh my God. Because I was like nervous, like really, because I don't like showing my body like that. That's why, I try to do all my shoots classy.
Right.
So, yeah. So, but that stood out because when I looked at those pictures, I was like, man, I can't believe you did that.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. What was the response? I know what my response was. What was the response when you put those photos up?
I got a lot of positive feedback. I'm in a magazine with those shoots as well, with that beta shoot.
Right.
So, but yeah, I got a lot of positive feedback. People were shocked, actually.
Right.
Yeah, because I was shocked.
Right. And that's the thing, though. It's like, it's a blessing because, like you said, growing up, you were more reserved and you were kind of like, laid back. Doing your thing, though, you was more focused on the books. But it's like now you're in the contest. You just came in second over Fabulous and over 40. You're doing the shoots and stuff like that. But this is not the only competition. I think I seen you in another one before.
Yeah, I was in another one, but I didn't place or anything like that. I didn't get it. Somebody else. Out in California got it. But the thing is, I have the courage to do it.
You got the courage.
Even though I didn't win number one yet, but it's not always about number one. Like I said, I don't know who's watching. I don't know who's looking.
Right.
God has something planned for me that I have no idea. You know what I mean? You don't always have to be number one. You can be number one without being number one. You get me? You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just waiting to let him do what he's gonna do.
Yeah. And that's the thing right there. In life, you're number one. You're number one. You're winning in life. I'm gonna tell you that now. Definitely winning in life. And it's like, and if I'm that healthy at that age, if I'm that blessed and I'm still moving around to be able to do what I love, you're doing what you love, you're doing it well, you're representing, and you're setting the standard and you're setting the bar. The difference is you don't have people saying, well, wear this, do that. Even with the swimsuit, it's something that you wanted to do.
Yes.
It's like empowering because like it may have been a time in your life where you didn't feel comfortable enough. I don't want to wear a shoot, do a shoot in a swimsuit. So it's like now you're empowering yourself. You're embodying who you are. This is who I am. I'm beautiful. It's all right. Let's talk about that. How does that feel? Because it's people that may feel like, okay, boom, I done had a few kids. It's over for me. They look at life like, I'm too old, stuff like that. What do you say to those people? Because like, you're doing it. You're doing it and you're doing it well. You're traveling, you're bossed up, you're making it happen, right? 3 degrees. You already made history. So that's already documented. That's forever. So now everything else is a bonus. Everything else after that is bonus. That's like what they call it, the gravy. That's the extra. That's the dessert. If you did not, you stop right now. You solidified in history books as the first African American female. Not only after that, you go to school. Now you say, you know what? I'm gonna take me some pictures. You start taking pictures.
Right.
Start sending them out.
Yes.
You're a professional model now. How does that feel?
It feels great. It's gonna feel even better when I start getting a check.
Right.
But you know what I mean?
It's coming. It's coming.
But it feels great to just have the confidence to do it. You know, thinking back where I was to where I am now, it's amazing. It's just amazing what God can do if you allow him to do it. Right. Don't feel sorry for yourself because you're never, like I said, you're never too old. You can do whatever you want to do at any time of your life. As long as God gives you breath, you can wake up every morning. It's not over. It's not over. I've been consistent with this modeling thing. Right. For a whole year, I posted something every day on Instagram. Every day. And there has to be somebody watching my consistency. When I tell you every day, when I wake up in the morning, and I do a little meditation and everything, right, I make sure I post something every single day. And I've been doing that over a year. So it's just like it's a habit now.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you definitely be working because I do a lot of working. But it's like when I'm working, I see you working. And we do a lot of our talking work hours. It's like early in the morning hours, work hours. So it's like I definitely know right, you're doing your thing right there. And it's like, I'm definitely excited about what you're doing. Because the thing is, you don't have an agency. You're not in the fan circles and stuff like that. You're doing it on your own. And like you said, people are watching. Yes. They said you're not compromising yourself. You're respectable at all times. You're a lady. You're not up there, clickbaiting. You're not up there lowering your standards. You up there represent yourself as royalty. You represent yourself as a queen, as an educated Black woman, who's a woman of God, who's an encourager, good friend, empowering others. Then it's like now, outside of that, you go to work. Yes. You encourage others. You work with them. It's like you see a lot of pain. You're dealing with, people with addictions and mental health and stuff like that. And it's like, this is what I like doing. I like helping people. It's like you're a genuine good person that likes helping other people. It's like you're not out here looking for a handout. You're not, sometimes people are compromised to get ahead. You're not doing it. It's like, what God has for me, God has for me. Absolutely. And that's a beautiful thing. And that's very respectful. And I definitely have a lot of respect for you for that reason, because it's like the way that, like I said, you carry yourself is like, it's almost like not a motherly, it's almost like wise, like the wise woman, or like, a woman of virtue, or what was the poem Maya Angelou had? Which one? Phenomenal. Oh, phenomenal. Yeah. Right. And then it's like now to hear your story, to say, I've been through some storms. I've been through some things. Right. You got a book. You got a book inside of you. I thought about that to see. My book will hurt some people that still live. So with who I am, I prefer not to write a book. Wow. I have a book in me, but I don't want to hurt nobody. You understand what I'm saying? Right. I just rather not do that, because if I tell my story like it happened, some people would be hurt. They're still living, and I don't want to do that. That wouldn't help me. I'm not gonna hurt someone to try to make $1. Nah, I'll just wait. God will give me something else. And I've even prayed about that. I'm not doing that. Right. Because I would hurt some people, and I'm not doing that. Yeah, I definitely understand that. The thing is, let me ask, right? Because we already spoke about your age and stuff like that. For the listeners, and the people that may watch on the playback, right? How old were you when you first started modeling?
During COVID, 50. That's why
50.
Lily Kalana 50.
Right.
Lily Kalana is my middle name, but I put 50 up there because that's when I started, when I was 50.
Wow.
Yeah.
Start.
Yeah.
And then you done put in a lot of work. You done put in a lot of work. And you said for a year, I'm posting something every
Yep.
day.
Yep.
Every day.
Every day. Every day.
And
I mean, because
year,
you got to stay relevant. People got to see you consistent. And
yeah.
see, but I'm like that at work too. I mean, my ethics is like high. I mean, I've always been like that.
Right.
You got to be consistent. Faith without works is dead. I mean, I got a whole lot of faith.
Right.
But I know I got to work.
Gotta work.
Nobody's going to give you anything.
Right.
You got to work.
And that's the thing. So let me ask you, what were some of your favorite shoots? I know they all mean something to you, but which ones did you enjoy the most? I know the swimsuit one, you said it shocked you the most. Like, yo, I did that. What were some of the experiences that stood out the most? Like whether it was on a shoot, whether it was an outfit that you put together, it came out exactly the way you saw it. What were some of your best memories so far?
Well, I mean, like you said, all of them were good.
Right.
I'm just really proud of all of them, actually, because when you accomplish something, you're like, wow, I did that. So there's not like the only one that, like I said before, that only stood out was the bathing suit. But I'm actually proud of each and every one of them.
Each and every one.
I'm actually proud of that. I mean, because I did that,
Right.
So, and then, submitting, a lot of people say, with the magazines, I've never had to pay to be in one of them. The only thing I had to do was just pay to buy the magazine, and I know what my goal is to be in a major magazine.
Right.
So, but just to see my pictures in and they say, yeah, we're going to feature you. Wow. I never had that. That had never been in my mind. You know what I mean? I never thought about that ever. So, yeah.
So, okay. What was it going through your mind your first time you was published and you seen yourself in the magazine? What's going through your mind?
I was like, wow. Like, I was just like, wow. Like, I did that. Like, wow.
Right.
Because when I never, like I said, I never even thought about it. And just to see yourself in a magazine, just like when I see myself on TV,
right?
It's going to be like, dang, that's me, Wow. Like when you give birth to a child, you're like, man,
right?
I did that, It's just it's a good feeling. It's a very good feeling.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and I know there's a lot more of those feelings to come because you definitely put in the work and you deserve it. Not only
Thank you.
do you do the modeling though, you're branching out to the acting world.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before we get into acting, right? What are some things, right? Like if you had a checklist, what's 3 things that you want to do when it comes to like your photo shoots? Whether it's like I want to be in a plane or I want to do a mountain scene. What's 3 things you like to accomplish before it's all over? Like 3, I want to accomplish this.
I would love to get the opportunity to travel somewhere and do a shoot, maybe on an island, go to Paris, Europe, somewhere like that. Right. Greece. I always wanted to go to Greece. So just to be able to branch out, someone say, hey, I want you to come here and do this. Just to be able to show what I have, let my work speak for itself. Right. But like one thing is travel. I want to go abroad and model. I want to do that. I mean, and I would love to be a mentor for young girls as well with the modeling, because I had low self-esteem, and I know it's a lot of young women or women that have gone through things and their self-esteem is low. I mean, it's life. It happens. I mean, like I said, the worst thing out of going through all that I went through, my divorce was the worst because I didn't want it. No one gets married to get a divorce. Right. I didn't want that. Right. But that almost broke me down. It really did. Actually, it was some points I thought I was going to die. I felt like I was dead mentally. I wasn't dead physically, but I would like to be a mentor, to help women, to talk to women, to let them know, hey, you got it.
Right.
Don't give up. You got it. You know what I mean?
Wow. So, all right. You said a real thing right there. It's like when you don't want it and, you know, you got to go, just got to let it go and stuff like that. If you had any advice for couples, right, they may be on the ropes. They may be going through some things. Sometimes communication or sit down, talk can fix a lot of things, but a lot of times pride can destroy it. Not saying that's what happened with you. A lot of times pride or, you know, I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going, and then you watch the relationship burn. What type of advice would you give to them people real quick? Like they're still salvageable. Like y'all going through, it may be not even big problems. It may be a communication thing. It may be something that's worth saving. What advice would you give them?
Get some help. Go to a therapist. It's nothing wrong with that. You know, a lot of men don't want to go. There's nothing wrong. You need a third party involved so you can be able to listen to what she's going through, because a lot of times we don't listen. That's our biggest problem. I hear you, but I'm not listening. Wow. Listen to your spouse. Go get some help. I mean, get some help if you need it. I mean, I went to therapy, but another thing, both parties has to want it. If you don't want it and I want it, it ain't gonna work. Both parties has to want it. But you gotta get some help if you need to, because sometimes you just need to. You need that person that you can talk to, and you know, maybe, you know, hearing it from someone else, you know, be like, dang, I get it. But get some help and listen to your partner. Hear them.
Right. Okay. So right there, let me ask, because you're a woman of wisdom, right? At this point in your life, how would you define love? What's love to you, and what's happiness?
Well, love and relationships.
Yeah, we don't know spiritual love. We're gonna talk about love in a relationship first. I want to see what the mind is like at that age. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what we're dealing with. I'm gonna put you out there right quick. What's love and happiness to you right now at that age?
Well, love to me is being with someone that can love me unconditionally. I'm not perfect, you know, but love to me is knowing that, okay, if I get on your nerves and say something out of the way because I'm human, you're not going to walk out on me. You know, that's love to me. Agape love. You know, you there regardless. I mean, of course, don't be there if I'm mistreating you, but don't look at me like I don't make mistakes. We're humans. We all make mistakes. I mean, we all have bad days, but you got to know how to say I'm sorry, which I've never have had a problem with that. But a lot of people don't want to say I'm sorry. Say I'm sorry and change though. Say I'm sorry and don't keep making the same mistake. Don't do it again, you know, because if you do it again, you're not sorry. Saying I'm sorry, what they say, saying I'm sorry without changing, you manipulating the relationship. You told me you're sorry, but you did it again. Like, that's the biggest thing.
Don't do it again. Right.
Yes. That's the biggest thing for me. I
understand. So what's happiness?
Happiness is doing what you love, or happiness in a relationship, or overall.
We're talking about relationships right now. We're gonna get to the overall. We're trying to see. we're trying to see something right quick.
Happiness in a relationship is knowing that you got someone, like I said, that you can talk to, you can communicate with, you know, that they're not going to leave you, you know, just up and leave you because you said something wrong. Happiness is be able to be with someone, y'all can spend time together. Happiness is able to just enjoy each other, period, point blank. I mean, bottom line is we're gonna have problems. I mean, who doesn't? It just depends on how you treat the problem or how you deal with it. I mean, we all have problems. That's happiness to me. Just knowing that, dang, you know, I don't have to walk on eggshells. I said this, dang, he might leave me because I said that. You know, that's happiness to me. Knowing that your partner is going to be there. Like, I got you. I got you.
And they make you look crazy out behind the scenes. You home and you out
exactly. Respect. Yeah, respect me. Absolutely.
I definitely understand that. So, all right, boom. While we're here, I got 2 more questions on relationships, and we're gonna keep rolling, right? Because what's the 3 most important things to you in a relationship?
respect, communication. Can I say the third one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sex.
All right. Let's talk
No,
about sex,
no, what?
baby. Right? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Right?
No, let me change the wording.
Right.
Intimacy
Intimacy.
on different levels.
Right.
On different levels.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what's.
All right. All right. Yo, that's dope. You know what I mean? It's like that's what that's part of it.
Yeah,
That's a part of
yeah.
it. So okay. All right. Yo, that's dope right there. All right. So okay. Three things, the three most important things. All right. So what's a deal breaker for you
In a relationship,
in a relationship right now?
if you cheat on me or put your hands on me, that's a deal breaker.
That's a deal breaker. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I don't like disrespect. I don't argue. I like to talk. But
Right.
some people think you nagging. No, I'm not nagging. I'm talking.
Right.
Don't disrespect me. Don't cheat on me, and don't put your hands on me, because it's a wrap.
We ain't gonna do that. All right.
Oh no, we're not doing that.
All right. I feel you. So okay, what's happiness when it comes to life for you, on just in general? What's your definition? Not relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Happiness. What's happiness? What makes you happy? What's your happiness?
Doing what you love to do. Like, I love my job. I mean, it gets stressful, but I love making a difference. And I know I'll make a difference with my clients.
Wow.
I think I was put here to be a servant, you know what I mean?
Right.
To help others. Just make sure you're doing what you love out of life, regardless of what it is. As long as you love it, you can be happy. I'm not going to ever be rich in what I do as far as my job in addiction, but
Right.
I love when someone comes to me and say, thank you. I appreciate you, Trimika. I can tell that you care. That means a lot, and I get that a lot. So
Right.
just loving what you do on a daily basis. That's what's important.
That's what's important.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you had the pen, right, and you can write the outcome, right? What would be your perfect life? What would make you happy? What would this be like? Yo, this is dope right here. Like, it could be, the same thing you're doing now. Like you said, I love my job, so that might be on your list. If you can write the outcome, what would be on your list?
Well, my outcome is to be debt free, have enough income to where I can just give people money, because I love helping people.
Right.
Being able, I wish my mom, one thing I could just rewrite life and bring my mom back. She died in 2012. Wow. But for me right now, it is to be financially stable, secure, do what I love, to where, hey, if you call me and you need something, hey, I got you. I got it. Don't worry about it.
Right.
That's what I would like.
Okay. All right. Nothing wrong with that, because no right or wrong answer. So, all right, if you could go back 30 years and you was giving yourself a talk, some advice, what would you say to yourself 30 years ago?
I would say I would listen to my parents. We always think we grown. I wouldn't have got married. I just would have done things differently. Right. I would have finished school earlier, because when you're older and you're trying to do it and work, and it just becomes like, wow, this is a lot. Right. I just would have just did a lot of stuff differently. It's just, a whole different way of life. It just would have been totally different. By now, I would probably be a millionaire. You learn, like with my finances and stuff like that. Right. It took me too long to learn what I should already learn growing up. No one ever really said, hey, you don't need them credit cards. You don't need to be getting in debt. Right. Focus on your finances. Buy you some stocks, put you some money. Every week you get paid, put you some money away. And then by the time, I'm older, I would have been set, where I wouldn't have to work so hard or whatever like that. I would have a cushion to sit on. Right. But I would have listened to my parents in, a lot of ways, but I just would have did a whole lot of stuff differently.
Wow.
A whole lot.
That's real. I remember growing up one time, I had my uncles and them. They would always tell me, yo, don't make the same mistakes I made. At that time, I'm younger. It's like we have that cockiness. We think we know it. We're coming into our own. And I remember times where I would look at them and I'm like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Or that ain't going to happen to me. That might have happened to you. I got to figure it out. And I remember my uncle telling me one time, and he said, you can either listen to me or you'll be me later. I didn't understand what he meant. It's like in those situations, it's almost like freeze tag. You remember when we were young and we played freeze tag, you stuck, somebody tap you, now you can run away again. Like you stuck, so
right.
it'd be the same type of thing. It's like, so you go through a bad situation, right? You see somebody headed down the same situation. Now you tell them, don't make that mistake. You don't want to be like me. And they, I ain't. And now they're froze.
Right.
In life, you're gonna wind up coming to somebody saying, you don't want to be this person. You don't want to make the same mistake I made. And it was like, it took me years when he said that to really get it. And then it's like, when I got it, I sat back down with him. And I'm like, yo, I get it now. And he was like, yeah, because it's like that same energy, right? It's like this person is humble. They've been through it. They're wise. They're coming to you out of love, saying, listen, you don't want to make that mistake, or I've been down that road. The young person now automatically judges them. You messed up, or you didn't know what you was doing. That, like, I'm bigger than you. I'm smarter than you. I'm not going to get caught up the way you did. Back to if it wasn't for the grace of God, there go I. Again, right. Where it's like, this is wisdom coming to you in love, saying, hey, you don't want to make that mistake. You rejecting it, saying, no, you messed up. That's not going to happen to me. So now life gets the assignment.
Exactly.
Life is assigned to humble you now. Take you through some things. Now you get it. And now you don't want other people to have to go through unnecessary life. Because some things happen out of our control.
True.
Some things we bring on ourselves.
True.
And then I know you're spiritual, so it's like, when we talk about tests and stuff like that, if you don't pass the test, you got to take it again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, the older I get now, it's like, let me just do the right thing the first time. Because I don't know. Right. I don't even want to take the risk. Now, certain things I will, but when it comes to like, just doing the right thing, I don't even want to risk it. Like, let's just do the right thing. I'm that guy now. Life has a way of slowing you down, where it's like you could be the toughest, loudest, the most rambunctious. But it's like life has a way to make you sit down somewhere. Like, I respect it. I respect it.
Yes, it does.
Wow.
There's no manual to life. You learn as you go.
Learn as you go.
You're gonna learn the hard way, or you're gonna learn the easy way. It's up to you which route you take, but you're gonna learn.
You're definitely gonna learn.
Yes.
Wow. So what type of roles when it comes to acting do you look forward to doing?
Well, I auditioned for this part. It's called the NC. I know you saw it a while back.
Right.
You saw it? The NC?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm a mother in that. I have 2 teenage daughters. Basically, we're supposed to start filming this month.
Right.
It is so awesome. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this. But I'm a mother in that, and I have 2 teenage daughters that are out of control. Kind of remind me of me. As a teenager, don't want to listen. Right. So, I mean, right now, any role is fine with me. You know what I mean? Right. I'm down for any role, but I'm a mother in this particular series. Wow. So
how exciting is that?
Oh, it's very exciting because once again, when I auditioned for it, I was shocked, that I got the role. Wow. It's just like stepping out on faith and just doing something. Move, make yourself move. Like I said, you're never too old, you're never too young to do whatever you want to do. Wow. Never.
So let me ask, what's the normal response you get when people find out your age? Because I don't want to keep getting stuck on that, but it's like, I really almost want to see your ID. Like, if you ever go to the store and I want to see your ID. Like, do people, what's their response when you tell them your age? Because it's like, you look so much younger.
they be like, huh? Because, I have clients my age. Wow. And they be like, how old are you? I'm like, 51. They're like, no way. I get stuff like that. Right. I'm like, yeah. Wow. So, I get the shock. Right. Like, you can't be. But, I was talking to my girlfriends about that. Like, do you supposed to look old because you're in your 50s?
Nah, you're not supposed to.
I'm like, okay.
Right. Nah, that's it. You just said you just said the thing right there. That's powerful right there. Are you supposed to look old?
Right. So I get that. That's it. Yeah, I get that.
Wow. And the thing is like, okay, so you've been through some things, right? My thing is this, God, right? He said, give you your years back.
God, what?
In the Bible, God said he'll give you back your years, your youth.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, and that thing is like, you've been through some things in life. Do you think God kind of gave you the youthful, the baby girl face? Because he knew, like, that's going to be a blessing down the road. Because we know God knows the beginning and the end. We already know he knows it all.
I mean, it could be. I don't know. I mean, because I don't smoke. I don't do, a lot of things, because like I said, I see it all. It's like, wow. Because I see before and after of clients. And it's like, they're so beautiful and so handsome. And, and the drugs, take over their youth, their look. So I don't, I don't do drugs. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't do any of that stuff. But, I mean, I know, of course, I know God has his hand on me. But you have to take care of yourself, too. You know what I mean?
You got to take care of yourself. So you work out and everything like that?
Yeah, I started back working out. I try to work out at least 3 times a week or something. Walk, do something, Right. Yeah, just keep yourself moving. Okay. But most importantly, your diet, what you eat. Right. I know it gets hard, especially with COVID. A lot of people was eating wrong and all that good stuff. It's easy to eat a lot of junk. Right. But, just watch what you eat.
Wow. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So, again, we're talking about being disciplined. You said working out 3 times a week. Stuff like that, putting in the work, right? It becomes, after a while, it becomes habit. Positive thinking, healthy living. You say you're eating right. Not only you eating right, you're working out 3 times a week, right? Let me ask, where did you get your style from? Because I said it earlier, when you step, you step. Where did you get this fashion style from? Because you could be somebody's designer, stylist.
Really?
You don't think so?
No.
You could.
No. Well, thank you. I mean, I just know what I don't want to portray. When I look at my clothes, I'm like, I'm not wearing that. When I try to find things I want to wear, I don't want to be, I want to be elegant. I don't want to be, what's the right word? I just want to look like a woman, Right. I don't want to use my body to get what I want. Right. You know what I mean? So that's where I get my style. I just make sure I try to buy things that I know that's presentable. Right. And I'm not trying to sell anything, you know what I mean? Right. Yeah. So that's why I dress the way I dress.
Yeah, and it works. And that's the thing, is like, at fashion shows and stuff like that, you could be the person that actually put the styles together, because even with your colors, you coordinate it. It's like, I noticed that one thing about it is like your outfits is always put together very well, even down to your makeup. The colors is like, even now with the cheetah print, it matches the makeup you got on. I'm pretty sure, your shoes and all that, it matches with the shirt, just because I know you. Like I said, when I seen you on the video shoot, I had to do a double take, because it's like, wait a minute, who is this? But it's like, is that because you've lived and you've seen life. But who are some of your inspirations? Like when you think about a strong woman, when we talk about like that phenomenal woman, like who are some of those women that you would put on your list?
Like my mom. My mom was a strong woman. My aunts, I have very strong aunts, and my grandmother, I look at people, the women that are around me. You know, of course I look at some people on TV, you know, but I really don't know them. I don't know their life. I'm just looking at the way they look. That's all I can go by. But the women that are in my life that I know, you know, what they've been through, what they go through and things like that, that's who I look up to. That's who helped me. I mean, I have a very supportive family. I mean, you know, I look at things like that.
Right.
So it's the women in my life that I look up to.
Yeah, and that's powerful as well. And I'm pretty sure it's women that look up to you, whether you know it or not. I'm pretty sure it's people watching you that's getting inspiration and getting strength.
Yeah.
Because like you have a dope personality. It's like you're real down to earth, loving. And then it's like, you wise. So when you talk, you're talking, you're educating as you're talking. You're loving on people. Even then, it's like, I never seen you on your Facebook or social media, anything like that, going off or throwing off on people.
Mm-hmm.
It's always something with substance when you write something or when you say, when you open your mouth. So it's like, that's awesome right there. So I'm pretty sure it's Black excellence and it's needed.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that it is some women that may not have those inspirations or them role models around them. You're definitely representing that well in a world or in an industry where everything is so sex, so provocative, you know, less is more. It's like you bringing the class to the game, and that sets you apart in your own lane. Is that by design? And what's some of the pros and what's some of the cons of that?
Well, some of the pros is it's class.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I painted the picture already. Oh, I know what she's not gonna wear. I know what she's not gonna do.
Right.
But the downside to that is when we look at TV and look at the social media, what do we see? We see basically sex, you know,
right.
Twerking and all this stuff that I don't do.
Right.
So I'll be like, man, you know, I can't sit here and say, man, do I need to change up? But I know I don't. It's just gonna take some time. Just keep doing what you're doing. Right. Don't, you know, I try to think out of the box, but not too much to where I'm disrespecting myself. And not only that, I have nieces that, you know, I don't want them to look at me like, man, Mika, why are you doing that? Or why are you dressing like that? Or why are you acting like that? You know, and then I have other women, you know, that look at me probably, and, you know, I don't want to, certain things I don't want to sell, you know, right. I just want people to look at me like, hey, you know, she is classy. Right. And that's what I want to exhibit, class.
Yeah, and you're doing that. You definitely are doing that. And I don't think people would get it twisted or be confused about that. The way that you carry yourself, you definitely classy, royalty. And I definitely salute you on that. So what can people expect in the future? Like, you know, what's coming in store for you the rest of the year going into next year?
Well, you know, like I said, working on the show, you know, trying to get that together. I'm looking forward to that when we start filming. Right. Also, I'm working on, and this has been the hardest thing, I'm working on my own perfume line.
Wow. And
I'm trying to do that myself. It's hard. Wow. So hopefully soon I'll have that together, and I have my website up and everything like that. So I'm working on that. So hopefully the course of, you know, the rest of the year, by the end of the year, they'll be like, Trimika, I know her. You know, I know who that is. Or, you know, Lily Kalana 50. I know who that is, you know? Right. So that's what I'm praying for. That's the goal that I'm shooting for.
Wow.
Yeah. And whatever God has for me.
Wow.
That's another goal, you know.
Right. I'm definitely looking forward, and I'm excited because I know doors are going to open. So let me ask, what's your spiritual gift?
Love.
Love. Wow.
Yes.
That's what Jesus had.
Yep. That's that's a blessing and a curse, just like for Jesus too. Because, you know, when people know that you can love them unconditionally, you can love them. Some people try to take advantage of that.
Definitely.
So,
definitely. I'm pretty sure.
But that's my gift, love. I love everybody.
I definitely feel you. I'm pretty sure with that love gift comes a discerning gift.
Well, yeah, true. That's true. But still, I still try to love everybody, though. Right. I just try. Because, like I said, you never know what somebody's going through.
Right. Now,
never.
The thing is, you have the same gift because that's what he did. Even when they stoned him, he prayed for them. Even when they attacked, he prayed for them. Even to the end, he was praying for them.
Right.
So
true.
Like, if they come against you and you showing love, They bring the curse on themselves. Always remember that. They're not getting over on you.
Right.
You
That's
showing
true.
love and you doing it with a pure heart. And I know you're doing it with a pure heart. So they try to take advantage of you. They're just going to bring a curse on themselves. Because God ain't going to allow you to be, you know, he's gonna fight for you. He's not just going to allow that to not happen. He's not going to do nothing. Like, no, he got the best for you. He got blessings and stuff like that. So it's like, that's the thing. But it is, like you said, people will take your kindness and think it's a weakness. But it's really not a weakness. Because long term, they may think they're winning now. But it's like in the long term goal of things. It's like you got to give an account for that stuff. So it's like, you know,
absolutely.
A lot of times we're looking at people and it's like, yo, they got it. Or they stepping on everybody. It look like they winning right now, but then it's like down the road, it can turn for the worse. So it can go, you know, again. And now, even though they were nasty, we still pray for these people because, like, yo, again, if my pride builds me up, or if I get cocky, or if I lose my way, that could be me.
Exactly.
So I understand, and I still pray for them. But it's like with you, I know that you a woman of God. I know that that's not your situation because it's like you're always putting other people first. And he says, stay humble. He'll elevate you. Your gift will make the room. Your gifts are making the rooms for you. So nobody can stop it. Nobody can stop what you're doing. And it's only up from here. So let me ask, okay, you got started in the pandemic. How is the pandemic affected, like the job, like with the pandemic? How has that affected you?
I mean, you know, we started working from home more.
Right.
But it's getting back to normal. I mean, I go in the office every day. I mean,
right.
Even though we know we have the variant, you saw an increase in use of, you know, this is substances during the pandemic because, you know, nobody didn't have anything to do, basically.
Right.
So, I mean, I saw a lot more of that. But as far as, like, for me, I don't like working from home. I can't stand it because I'm not around people. I like being around people, communicating with people.
Right.
You know, when you live by yourself, you feel like, man, I can't stay in here. You know, it was real tough for me during the pandemic. That's why I thank God that I started taking pictures and stuff, because isolation it's not good for anybody. A lot. I mean, it's good to a certain extent, but it's not good for you for a long time. It's not. Mentally, no, it's not.
Wow. So let me ask, how do you enjoy yourself when you're not working, you're unwinding? What's a good time? What's a good time for you?
Well, you know, I stay home a lot.
Right.
Just, you know, chilling. I mean, looking at TV, trying to relax, listen to some music or something like that.
Right.
I do like staying home. I like watching movies. You know, before COVID, I used to go to the movies by myself and all that stuff. Just doing things that I like to do. I mean, I like to do a lot of different things, but as far as like, I love my me time. I go to the hairdresser. I go get massages, you know, pedicures, things like that. I mean, I also like to travel and stuff like that. But with the pandemic, of course, you couldn't do that. Right. Other than, you know, I went to see my dad and stuff like that. But I mean, I like some alone time sometime when I want to just unwind
and just relax. Okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, yo. And I definitely salute you, yo. You Black excellence in the building. If it's something that we may have forgotten or skipped over that the people may need to know, let's touch on that real quick.
I think you covered everything pretty much.
You think I did a pretty good job?
We talked about a lot.
Okay. All right. So, yo, let me ask, would you come back up here? We still friends? It was all right?
Oh, absolutely. For sure.
I'm teasing. Yeah. I ask people all the time. I say, we still going to be friends after. But it's like, it's all about edifying. It's all about showing that love because, again, it's like what we don't spotlight on the news and entertainment and stuff like that. What I notice is a lot of times the negativity gets glorified. It's like, you know, look at the drugs, or we look at, like you said, the sex and stuff like that. But it's like we don't look at, I don't remember the last time I've seen somebody celebrated for graduating college. I don't remember the last time I've seen somebody celebrated for starting a business. I don't remember the last time I've seen somebody celebrated for being the first to do something. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, a lot of the stuff that you do, I didn't know about, but I was impressed from the vibe out. So it's like a first impression and first appearance goes a long way. And it's like, you know, big love and salute to everybody that, you know, came out to the shoot and stuff like that. But it was something different about you, something set apart, where it's like, yo, she's different. And it's like, I didn't know who you were with. I didn't know who invited you or nothing like that. But it was like something about her. She's different. And it's like, yo, from getting to know you, it's like, yo, it's been dope because it's like, not only are you, you know, making it happen in the industry world, it's like, okay, you got a story. You're inspiring. Then it's like a lot of the stuff I never knew about. You're in history books. You made African American history.
Yes.
So it's like, you know, now I can say, I'm not going to tell you people your business, but it's like, I know personally, I know the first African American female police officer in Dunn, North Carolina.
Yes.
Yeah. And who would have thought? They asked me, how do you know her? From a Vibe Out remix.
Right.
Yeah, but that's how life plays out, yo. And it's like, yo, things happen for a reason. And I'm definitely blessed to have crossed your path. I definitely support you in everything that you're doing. And I definitely appreciate you sharing your story because it's like God makes no mistakes. I knew it was more to you. Like I said, when I'm joking, but when I first saw you, I just knew like, yo, something different. And that's what the game needs sometimes. It's like a lot of times everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's following the trend. Everybody's doing what the social media says is the cool thing to do. We need more leaders. And I heard you say that earlier. My whole life, I've always been a leader. That's how I escaped some of the pitfalls. That's how I didn't get distracted. That's how I stayed focused to my goal because I've been a leader. And in the Black community, we need more leadership.
Yes.
In the Black community, we need to salute our sisters. We need to salute our brothers. But I know that you're a Black queen that salutes men. You salute Black men. You salute, yo, if you're doing the right thing. I ain't saying you co-signing no bull crap, but it's like, if you're doing something positive, that's all right. And it's like, so to be able to bring you on a platform and you share your experiences, my hope is that somebody may watch this, right? And they may be inspired to say, yo, if she can do it, then I can do it.
Right.
But a lot of times it feels like from the outside looking in, people feel like they're so far away that it can't happen for them.
Yep.
And it's like, you know, so when people share their stories, it helps me get to connect with them on another level. But not only does it help me connect with them, it gives me a greater respect.
Right.
Because like, yo, I already knew something about you. Now I know that, okay, you're a woman of God. You have a relationship with God. That makes sense. Okay, that's the royalty. That's the grace part. That's the love. I get that. Then it's like, okay, but she's down to earth. You know, she's on cover magazines. You know, anybody with eyes can tell you're a beautiful woman. But she's down to earth. She's not out here snooty. She's not out here, you know, she's down to earth. Then I learned today you've been through some things.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, so somebody may look and they may say she got it all together. She, you know, because they see the outside. They don't know. I won't always able to celebrate myself. I won't always able to celebrate my empowerment. I wasn't always able to celebrate my confidence.
Absolutely.
I may not always felt beautiful when I walk out. So to see you now doing your thing and you're doing it well, it makes me smile. And, you know, it makes my heart jump because, like, I know that you're a good, genuine person. And a lot of times the people that's the wrong spirits, everybody lifts them up. They're the greatest thing. And it's like, you doing it the right way. And it's like, sometimes we get overlooked.
Yeah.
God ain't overlooking us, but it's like, I'm doing it the right way. I ain't cutting nobody. I ain't cutting no corners. I ain't tripping nobody. I done held the door for everybody else. Now I get to the door and they say, we can't take nobody. We full. Are you serious? I was here 30 minutes early. Open the door for everybody else, and I can't come in. So I definitely wanted to give you your flowers, yo. And I definitely wanted to salute you because I support you. And it's like, not only you support me as well. And it's like, I appreciate that. I want to let you know to your face, I appreciate that because, like, from that video, we've been in contact and you inspire me, yo. I'm going to tell you, you inspire me because you don't give up. You're not fighting your way to the top. You're being consistent, like you said, and you're creating your own lane. With or without the help.
Right.
With the popular crowd. Like, even if you're not stopping my show. 365 days, something every day.
Every day.
Everybody that knows you, everybody that came into contact with you should be rooting you on. Because, like, not only are you doing it, you're beating odds. People say, you can't do that. I did it. You're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's like we live in a world where right is wrong, wrong is right.
Exactly.
And I want to let you know, you're doing it right. Don't look at the numbers. Don't look at the people, because what God is setting you up for, they can't even fathom. They can't even fathom. So when people look at you and they see you, they don't. I know when I compared you, I'm not comparing you to local celebrities or stuff like that. I said you give off a Michelle Obama persona.
Oh.
That's royalty. That's royalty.
Thank you.
You didn't live the life you accomplished, and you said, I'm doing it by myself. I done took myself out to the movies. I done did this. That's because God ain't gonna allow just anybody to roll up on you. Any man looking like she's single, I'll take her out. I've married, but you ain't qualified.
Right.
That's God. Whoa. Yeah, she looks beautiful. Yeah, everybody's attractive. But you gotta be careful how you handle this one. Your time is coming. Yeah. Your time is coming. You say you've been doing it a year consistently.
Mm-hmm.
God to do a speed. He'll put you on a speed path. Like what you've done in a year, some people that's been modeling 5 and 10 years haven't done.
Yeah.
From being published, from being in contests, from, like you said, posting, just being active, name buzzing, the brand in a year. So he's already got you on acceleration. He didn't gave you, so ain't nobody gonna look and say, well, how old are they? He didn't gave you years, and like, when people look at you, like, he strategically made things happen. You spiritual, so you pray. I ain't gotta tell you, God to tell you himself.
Right.
But he strategically putting things in place. Your best days are coming. It's like you thinking this blew your mind. He's really gonna blow your mind because you're staying true and you're doing it the right way. You're not compromising. You're not the person giving over your birthright for it because I'm hungry right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, because somebody said, I'll put you on the magazine, if you do, you ain't doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not lowering my standard. I know who I am. I know my worth.
Absolutely.
And he's gonna bless you good, And I got big love for you. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying that, And I never knew, but I knew you had a story. And you said, "What you gonna interview me? What you gonna interview me about?" Nah, it's the story.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah,
I really do.
That's dope right there, So hopefully down the road, we can get you back up here with some updates and stuff like that to let us know what's going on. Or again, like we were saying, we might need to bring you on for the mental health series type of. We got the mental health trauma series. We got relationships going now, but we may need to put a substance one together.
Okay.
Because the thing is like to bring awareness, and it's like real conversation, real information. Because Black people, we don't like going, like you said, to talk to people or going in the office. But it's like, we'll go to YouTube, we'll go check stuff out like that. So it's like, if y'all do that already, it's like it's the same thing as a conversation to the people. Like, you may be struggling, or somebody may be at the end of their rope, watching, like, I'm going through this. You may be able to help them. So you pray about it. If it's something that God puts on your heart, let's put it together, because substance abuse is real, and a lot of people thinking like, I'm not an addict, but it don't happen overnight. By the time it has you, you've been out there. And then it's like the people around you, they know already. It's like you just finding out, like, I'm addicted. They already know because they see you gradually going further. And some people way in the deep, and I done been there. I'm all the way out in the deep. And I'm telling everybody, I got it under control. You don't got it under control. I'm thinking nobody knows. They all knew.
Right.
So it's like, that's the part of the addiction is like, we're thinking, oh, we got it figured out, or people don't, but it's like, they do know. So it's like, for that, it may help somebody that may be afraid or shy. I don't want to go get help, or they may be in denial. It may be something that may be spoken that may trigger them, or a teenager, or whatever the case may be. So again, if that's something that God would allow, let's put it together. Even if we do it once a month or however, we can go from there. But it's like, again, I definitely appreciate you coming up here. And again, I love you from the bottom of my heart. Salute you on everything you're doing. I know more opportunities are going to come. Don't compromise. Keep shining. Keep letting your light shine. And I know God is going to keep blessing you. If you got any shout outs, you can do that right after the shout outs. I'm going to throw to the Vibe Out remix video, and we're going to sign out. I thank everybody for tuning in today. This is the Proof in the Pudding podcast show. I go by the name of Sion 919. I had the pleasure today of sitting down with my good friend, Trimika McGee, and this was her story on the Proof in the Pudding podcast show.
Can I read one of my
Right. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. It's called Broken, and we've all been broken. Right. I just want to encourage somebody like I've been doing. I want to encourage somebody that it's not over because you've been broken. So this is a piece that I wrote. Right. I poured all my eggs into one basket and all of them broke. I made the mistake of pouring them and not placing them. When we strategically place something, it's done carefully and with care to prevent damages. No longer will I pour out to you, and there is no pouring into me. The slow chips, cracks, breaks, bruises, and mishandling of my heart is no longer an option. I cannot pour into a cup that is filled with holes. No longer will I allow anyone to consume my time because no one else has time. Because you are broken does not mean you cannot heal. I will be mindful going forward who I allow to see and know who I am. I have learned not everyone is worthy. Eggs that are broken still have value. There is substance inside of every broken egg, and it's called the yolk. It's the internal part of our being that provides the portion that is called all we need. All we need to move on, to evolve, to grow, and to be free. Never allow anyone to make you feel less than because you are broken and poured all your eggs into nothing. Out of nothing became something, and that someone is me.
Wow. Yeah. That's powerful right there. You anointed right now. I'm gonna tell you that. You're a preacher. You act like you don't know that.
What?
You know that.
Not a preacher
or teacher. Teacher or preacher.
I appreciate that.
Because you even had to move when you certain things you start rocking with. Oh, I know that anointing when I see that right there. Oh, you're a speaker and a teacher.
Yeah.
All that knowledge and wisdom in that piece right there. Again, it's like you have value, It's like, you know this. You know what you're supposed to be doing. I ain't even gonna sit here and play that game with you. You know exactly what you're supposed to be doing out here. But you're a leader. You know that. You're a leader of a movement. You're a leader. There's a lot of women out here that's broken. A lot of women that's been abused. A lot of women out here suffering with low esteem. A lot of women confused. A lot of women trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yo, you one of them pillars. Like, to set the example, like, you know, that's out of order. What they're teaching you, that's out of order. That's not being a lady. That's not being a woman. A lot of times they don't know.
Right.
They really don't know. And it's not that it's their fault. It's society, it's the TV, it's the media, it's the agenda, it's social
Mm-hmm.
media, it's the way they're programming us. Like, we done got so far away from what's really real. It's like we're really in the matrix now. It's like, again, they take wrong and we think it's right, and they take good and people run into the bad. And it's like,
Right.
you get crucified for being good. Like, where do they do that?
Exactly.
But it's always been that way. From the beginning of the time, it's like, well, good and evil, it's always been a fight. And it's like, they don't want people like you, people like me, that's trying to make a change, people that's trying to make a difference. It's like they give us the lowest mic. It's like we may touch 4 or 5 people, but it's like the evils will touch millions.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's like,
That's
we gotta keep pushing, because it's like we gotta keep pushing because somebody's life dependent on it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I definitely thank you and appreciate you. Yo, this was an honor for real. And I'm not
Yes.
just saying that. Yo, hold on. Let me put the thing up there, so if they want to follow you.
Okay.
Or if they're looking to book you, if photographers are looking to book you, will you travel, or is it NC only? Like, how does that work?
No.
If photographers want to book you?
I'll travel. Yeah.
You
I have a passport. Yeah.
passport too, so international.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
International.
Absolutely.
Wow. So if they wanted to book you, they would hit you up on the social media. Would they email you? How would they do it?
I mean, they could hit me up on social media and I'll respond.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And on my Instagram, I have a website. Actually, it has my phone number and on there, everything on there. So they could just, hit that and I'll contact and I'll hit them back or whatever. So
okay.
Whichever.
That's the one right here. I can't pronounce your middle name.
Lily Kalani 50.
Lily Kalani 50. Lily Kalani 50. Lily Kalani 50. I got it now. I said it 3 times. I got it. Lily Kalani 50. Boom, I can say it now. That's how I do with my raps. I got to say it 3 times. It's a tongue twister song. I say it 3 times. I'm good to go. So definitely, y'all can follow her on social media. Lily Kalani 50. Photographers and stuff like that, as well as filmmakers.
Anybody, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to Rob about trying to get you on the Soap King.
Okay, that'll work.
I'm gonna talk to him and see, because I think he's almost halfway, but it's gonna be like, you know how they shoot, they do like a part series, which is the intro, and then he's gonna start bringing in the cast as it goes on. So I'm gonna try and talk to him and see, would that be something you're interested in? You know, Rod does the comedy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's like a comedy.
Like you said, I'm down there if I like to laugh,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely reach out to him and see, because I know he's in a break right now, but once Labor Day hits, he's gonna launch the beginning part, but then it's gonna keep building as we go. So I'm gonna definitely reach out to him on that. And then there's a couple other filmmakers out there. So it's like, if I see anything, I'll pass it on, because I know that you're looking for that. And then so we got the acting, we got that. More big things coming, modeling, photo shoots, stuff like that. You may want to think about styling people, because after a while they're gonna start hitting you up. They're gonna start saying, "Well, who picked that out? Who did that?" It might be something to do.
It's a thought. Yeah.
Why? Because you said mentoring. You might even put it all together. Who knows, down the road you might have a modeling school. You never know.
Never know. Right. Hey, I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely know. But definitely, again, I'm not gonna hold you all night. I definitely appreciate you again. If you got any shout outs, you can say them right now.
Yeah, I just want to thank my family for being so supportive. My friends, my girlfriends, my cousin that lives in New York, just everybody that's been by my side, that's pushing me. My girlfriend that lives in Atlanta, my girlfriends that live in Kannapolis area, just everybody. I just want to thank you for everything. And I love you. Definitely. Yeah.
That's dope right there. So, we're going to jump to the Team Collective video. I'm going to let you introduce it. This is the Vibe Out remix. I'm starring you in that. You definitely there. Man, you got a couple things together.
Yeah,
this
but
is the Vibe Out remix. We're going to let you introduce it.
You going to let me introduce it?
Yeah, we're going to play it.
You just want me to say? What do you want me to say?
You can say this is. You can tell them your name. You can see me in this video. Feature Team Collective. Bye bye.
This is me in the video that's coming out. The Vibe Out Collective.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did good. Yeah, this is Team Collective Vibe Out Remix, yo, featuring Trimika McGee, yo, is going down, yo. We thank everybody for tuning in, yo. Y'all have a blessed weekend. Everybody stay safe and move in love, y'all. Thank y'all again for watching. We love y'all.
Thank you.
If you close your eyes, you can't imagine more. A lot more than the stressful sentiment you endure. I wanna help you, but first you gotta let me explore inside your mental. For now, your body will ignore. Just wanna hear you more. Talk to me, tell me what you think. I wanna know how it's going while I massage your feet. It's pre-roll, so reach, go ahead and spark the tree and blow a cloud. It's loud and let it air out. Just let it all out. I hear what you're saying, ma. You said it was all bad, stress-filled workplace, talking about the day you had. But I know where to get you right. I know where to get you. Life is me, then it's you, then it's us, and we gon' catch a vibe. Pop a bottle and pour it up, break up and you'll fill it up. Getting tipsy but never drunk. It's a weekend and we turn it up. In the mix and we getting lit. Roll it up and then spark that shit. Catch a week, forget seeds, sick, we vibing out to the remix. Vibe out. Your body every time you be calling me, like you trying to give it all of me. Now I'm guessing that you want more of me, cause you acting like you risk it all for me, telling me that I'm all you need. Showed you things you ain't never seen. It's always us over everything. Laying up smoking Mary Jane, you got that look up in your eyes. Girl, you got me hypnotized while I'm staring at your hips and thighs. Got me thinking how you feel inside. I scoop you up so we can catch that vibe. Roll it up, babe, let's get high. I'm staring at you like damn, you fine. Cute face, slim waist, baby, you a winner. I'ma show you things that you always gon' remember. You gon' have a flashback, thinking about how I smashed that. Puff, puff, pass that, and baby girl, yo, we gon' catch a pop a bottle and pour it up. Break up and you'll fill it up. Getting tipsy but never drunk. It's a weekend and we turn it up. In the mix and we getting lit. Roll it up and then spark that shit. Catch a week, we get seeds, sick, we vibing out to the remix. Vibe out. Let's vibe out, hit the road and just ride out. Girl, you so official, when I'm with you, ain't no timeouts. Clocked in, the rest signed out. Box wet, let me find out when I'm swimming through your love. And I might just drown, so we on high ground. Got the haters co-signing this. Diamond shine, ain't buying this. First class, they ain't flying this. Team shut it down, who you vibing with? I hit you when I touch down. Charlotte, uptown, keep cigars lit. Straight loud, my squad lit. City hold me down, cause baby, I don't wanna waste your time. Guess I'm really feeling you, I'm caught up in your vibe. If you drink some more, you gon' have to spend the night. Baby, it's a vibe, baby, it's a vibe. You can catch it. Pop a bottle and pour it up. Break up and you'll fill it up. Getting tipsy but never drunk. It's a weekend and we turn it up. In the mix and we getting lit. Roll it up and then spark that shit. Catch a week, we get seeds, sick, we vibing out to the remix. Vibe out. Drunk, it's a weekend and we turn it up. In the mix and we getting lit. Roll it up and then spark that shit. Catch a week, we get seeds, sick,